Hi, my name is Michael Das. My topic for today is emotional intelligence and social intelligence are essential for creating effective leaders in all levels of an organization. To start off, I'll be referring to emotional intelligence as EI and social intelligence as SI. This is what I'm planning to achieve at the end of this talk. Identify current situation in organizational leadership, define EI and SI, discuss the positive and negative impact of EI and SI on organizational leaders, explain the future of EI and SI for organizational success. My claim is that EI and SI are essential tools for leadership at all levels of the organization to meet organizational outcomes. Canwell and his Deloitte team wrote about how leaders meet new challenges every day as new breed of workforce with different needs and diversity enters the organization. Because of the ever-changing landscape in which the business operates, leaders are expected to go beyond the knowledge, skills, and instincts to respond and react appropriately to the team members. There is also an expectation of leaders for leaders to show greater agility and adaptability to solve problems operating at multi-levels given a single day. To develop leaders with the right tools and expertise, Jorok and Yazdanifard talked about the importance of EI and SI to motivate team members to create a common culture and align them to the DNA of the organization. Boyatis explains that the leaders, to be successful in contributing to higher performance, they need a collective set of competencies such as emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and cognitive intelligence. The dynamics of the working environment opens up to a wider parameter of cross-cultural and cross-generational diversity, which is the most pertinent narrative in boardrooms of organizations today. To help you understand the definitions of EI and SI, we have to start with the theory of multiple intelligence introduced by Garner. He identified EI and SI as being an important part of a cluster of intelligence dimension. The discourse on EI and SI was popularized by Goleman through his mainstream books such as Emotional Intelligence, Social Intelligence, and The New Leaders, which we are all familiar with. To define EI, Salovey and Mayer explains that EI is the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions and the emotions of others. Law, Wong, and Song, as a team in their study, used Mavis' explanation of the four emotional intelligence dimensions to further enhance the definition. I have summarized it as number 1, reflection and evaluation of self. Number 2, evaluation and appreciation of others. Number 3, control of one's emotion. And number 4, channeling one's emotion for constructive performance and success. Now, on the other hand, in defining social intelligence, SI, Hewitt and Dawson adopted a more simplified definition of social intelligence from Albrecht. The definition encompasses the competency of elaborating with others and to inspire them to collaborate with oneself. Now, to explain the definition of SI further, Hewitt and Dawson use the different elements of social competencies as depicted by Broderick and Belvit. I find Hewitt's interpretation of social competencies are relevant to creating effective leaders because there are important parts of cognitive, affective, and conative elements to manage intrapersonal and interpersonal relationships, especially in a workplace situations for leaders. Now, framed by these definitions that aligns to organizational leadership, I will highlight the positive and negative impacts of EI and SI. Albrecht refers to these behaviors as toxic effect and nourishing effect. Now let's look at the nourishing effect. With the help of EI and SI, leaders are able to recognize their own emotions and keep track on the emotions of their own team members. This will allow a mindful and an appropriate response to their team members. Now, Kilduff, Chabru, and Mangas as a team pointed out that a person who is emotionally intelligent is able to understand and manage one's own array of emotions to achieve success. As a matter of fact, charismatic leaders are attuned to their team emotionally and are able to inspire and motivate them to achieve better results. They're constantly listening and provide constructive feedback to their team members. Pillai and Mendel agree that leaders who possess magnetic personalities are better at handling difficult situations. They are more resourceful and quick in problem solving. By the way of contrast, Kilduff and his team are asking us not to ignore those who may abuse the EI skills to achieve their own goals and objectives. This manipulation technique becomes more prevalent in situations where leaders need to gain competitive advantage over others and to achieve an incentive. Kilduff further explains that these behaviors are also seen in leaders as being overtly attentive and protective of favored team members. On the contrary, the absolute lacking of it is also to be taken note of. In addition, Perg explains that EI and SI is applied in marketing to attract potential customers to retain them within their business arena. Now, the problem is sales and marketing leaders with high EI and SI understand the emotional needs and references or preferences of customers, thus creating an amplified recognition program to satisfy the customer needs. However, what happens is managing relationships with customers have become more complex, and the cost of managing these customers is increasingly expensive. So therefore, all organizations sometimes take shortcuts and they are unable to deliver what the brand and advertising have promised. Now, for EI and SI to be used effectively in personal development and professional development, Salovey and Mayer proclaims that these learnings and experiences must be recognized and reflected upon adequately by leaders. There are research and empirical data that points us to the direction where EI and SI make better leaders to create harmonious working environment and successful business environment. However, Law, Wong, and Song collectively explained that future research is needed to establish the link between emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and predicting performance and the outcomes to employ the right leaders at the right level within the organization. Huiden-Dawson elucidate the fact that social emotional learning, the SEL, contributes to the academic progress in student development. Should it be then an integral part of instructional design and delivery strategies? Is it not relevant to prepare them for a real world and create a pathway for future leaders? All these questions need to be answered. Even in organization, EI and SI must be integrated into a learning and development framework with HR. Argod proclaims that adult educators in organization need to embrace EI and SI in promoting positive energy within training environment. They must live and breathe the culture to walk the talk for the learning space, to the transference of learning to all levels of the organization. In conclusion, we must continue to research, improve, and rebuild organizational environments where leaders are equipped with EI and SI competencies. And because of that, team members are appreciated, recognized, and acknowledged by their leaders. With EI and with EI and SI, everyone's perspective and needs are respected. Thank you.